Greetings, everyone. Welcome to STEMGo, Saving Time, Energy, Money in Your Business. This is the show where we feature some special, talented people. We really do. It's awesome to meet so many people on this show. And today we have a special guest. Come on in, Mr. Gary Wohlman, or Dr. Gary Wohlman, actually, isn't it?
Thank you, Karen.
Hello,
Great to
how are you doing?
Wonderful way to meet you.
So today, so this is a show about being efficient, being effective at what you do, because if you are, you're more likely then to save time, energy, and money, and ultimately then be more productive in your business and what you do. So Gary is an international presentation coach, right? And so you help people to basically speak from the heart, to tell their story in a way that is, it connects with people, right?
Yes, I better not say no. That would put us on the wrong track. With what I'm demonstrating right now is the very thing that I like to teach and model, and that is by being as alive as possible, as connected as possible, not just to my message, but to my body and to my messaging with you. Developing a relationship with the audience, that is the very best way. Then the words just flow. Whether an ear plug falls out of the ear or not, everything is part of the perfect imperfection that we humans resemble.
Absolutely. So, Gary, what is the connection like? How do we know when we've got a connection, and how do we actually get it in the first place? What do we need to do?
One simple tool that I've developed is a tool for mastering the inner message first before you deliver the outer message. So think of 3 key words that match who you are, you who are listening and watching. For me, I'm creative, I'm playful, and I'm transformational. Now, you may have noticed the gestures that I made with the words as well. Often what happens with the speaker, we get so lost in getting the content across that we forget about making visceral, visible, visual pictures of what we're saying. And when we can make pictures of what we're saying, the audience is able to capture the message far more easily than just hearing words, words, words. That's one of the first things we can do.
Yes.
Very powerful.
Awesome. That is awesome. And the thing is, as well, is that often people, when they're giving presentations, they rely on the word form. They rely on scripts that they've written. And they can be pretty dry, can't they? But like you say, creating pictures and images and having those as a speaker, and able to be able to create that image and that picture for your audience is what it needs to happen, isn't it?
It's so true. Imagine this triangle right here below my head, so you can still see my head. And in the 3 apexes of the triangle, I'm calling this the P formula. P, E, A, standing for the points that we make, is often what even the best speakers that I've been coaching over the years get lost in, how much content I can give. If I don't give enough content, they're going to feel I'm not credible or I'm not a master in the subject. BS, not true. It's the matching of that point with an example, a story, something that brings to life, reaching as many of the senses as possible, that brings that message to a place that we all can experience what that person is saying. And then still, the message does not get delivered clearly until the A, the application. What's in it for you, the audience? Point, example, application makes a full circle. I call that the cycle of communication. So the points are best punctuated with the stories, examples, or anecdotes, and then delivered to what's in it for me from the audience's point of view. Without that, the speaker's just missing that deep connection that we're craving for, all of us.
Sure. And you use a lot of your body language. You put a lot of body language into
I am a body languager. I was a springboard diver, champion gymnast, track star, court jester. The more that I can show with what I'm telling, and the more that I can see people making movements that match the message, the more I can hear it on many more levels of meaning than just from the neck up. So I also have a hearing problem, so it helps me understand better by being able to be visually acute. Do you hear what I'm saying?
I do hear what you're saying. And also, is it important to be able to see, to eyeball your audience? Because I know a lot of presenters look above people when they're talking to them. They kind of look over over their heads. Is it important to make eye contact with the people that you're
Here's what
actually
I think.
talking to?
Whether it's 3 people or 3,000 people, here's a simple technique you can use. Let's say you start delivering one key message as part of your PEAs, your point examples and application, as your presentation. Let's say there's a particular person who is like going like this to you or giving you a lot of extra energy and attention and positive regard. It would make sense for you to turn your body, face that person, and look at their eyes while you also expand your vision like a piece of the pie, so that anyone in that field, that triangular field of vision, is connecting with you, reaching them. The person then's thinking, oh my goodness, he's talking to me. He's talking to me. He's talking to me. I'm important here too, not just his message. So that's
what everyone wants to feel. Everyone wants to feel when you go and see something. You want to feel important. You want to feel special, don't you? You want to feel like, I've made an effort to come and see this person. I don't want to be anybody in the audience.
So true. And when the audience feels important, the listening is louder from the audience. It's a simple tool, but if I show that I care for you, and then I move on to a next point, and I slightly lean my body and then talk to another piece of the pie, someone else is smiling or jumping up and down or waving to me. That way I'm able to connect with every single person in the audience as though every person feels important, and they listen louder.
Yes, absolutely. So it doesn't matter how many people, whether it's one you're talking to, whether it's a room full of people, hundreds of thousands of people, make them all as much as you can feel important. What else? What else do we need to know about, transforming that message and by using our body and our voice? Is there anything else we can do?
Yes, absolutely. Let's say you're on a stage and you're delivering some key points, some key stories that mean a lot to you. Well, it makes a lot more sense than just telling the story to plant the story in a specific place on the stage. We've lost the place of sacredness in our culture. So we're creating a new sense of sacredness in actually the staging and the landscaping of this story belongs here, that story belongs there. Remember earlier when we were talking about, yes, that other story, walk, walk, walk back to that place. The audience then remembers everything you said in that zone, and they're able to then reconnect with all the information, the nuances of voice tone and intonation that is unique to that particular place. Past, present, future from the audience's point of view. Being consistent and moving to those places, the audience is trained to know what the speaker is going to say before the speaker even opens their mouth. This is a very cool way of developing a relationship with the audiences without even planning the speech here. You're planting it on the stage and you're connecting. This is so much more intimate and so much more a sense of belonging. Everybody feels like they're sharing then the same message.
So what you're talking about there is what I'm familiar with is anchoring. You're anchoring the audience to a part of you in a story on the stage in which you're at that point in time.
Absolutely.
And it's a very subliminal, very unconscious sense of, I know this feels familiar, but I don't know why, kind of thing, because you're kind of doing callbacks to where you were before. Is that right? Something like that?
Something like that. Let's say you have a favorite story about your grandma, and whenever you talk about her, you go to a particular spot on the stage. After a while, the audience is going to start to feel like, oh my, I can see her grandma, because you make it so familiar for them that it becomes a place of certain movement patterns, certain voice tones, and the words that follow. Yes, it is a form of training the audience to perceive on many more levels of meaning than simply delivering or downloading content. Exactly.
So, Gary, are you a trained actor?
That's a very good question. I've been a court jester in this lifetime, a live professional court jester, traveled the world, sent by the town of Mill Valley, California at one stage, to the Soviet Union as part of the perestroika timing. I've been an improvisational actor and performer from particularly that place, the court jester. I think I've
Yeah.
been one in many lifetimes because I never trained to do it in this one. And
No.
from that, these tools to help people be more improvisational and spontaneous, and literally to think on your feet has come
Yes.
from the acting background. That's right.
So you feel sure that anyone can do this. You don't have to have your background. You don't have to have been a court jester in another life or anything else like this. This
Well,
is
that's a very good, simple expression.
definitely people can learn
Nobody
this.
can be a better person than yourself at being yourself. You don't have to rehearse to be yourself, and you're the best person for the job. So my way of working with people is not to show them how to speak outwardly, but how to connect with the inside person. The simple story, short story that will illuminate this. I knew I'd share this with you today. There's a father on a Sunday morning wants to read the newspaper, talks to his son. Son, gee, I need a little time for myself. Here, take this page of the newspaper. It's got a photo of the world on it. Take this, go away, and come back later when you finish putting the world together. He thought he'd have some time for himself. The son comes back a minute later. Daddy, I did it. I put the world together. Oh, great, son. No more time for myself this morning. What did you do? Oh, it was easy, Daddy. But on the one side, there was the pictures and all these different round things in the world. It was very, very complicated trying to put the world together by itself. But when I turned the page over, there was a photo of a person. And when I put the person together first, the world came together all by itself.
That's a good story. I like that.
Isn't that a cool story? So it's about speaking from the inside out is what I'm saying.
Yes, absolutely.
By having one connect with that deepest sense of what makes me sweat, what makes me wake up in the morning, what makes me so passionate to want to get through each day. If I can speak from that place, people are moved by it rather than, well, the next piece of information, who cares? We want to rivet people's attention to catalyze a waking up from the inside out. That's my message.
That is awesome. And we talked right at the beginning, Gary, we talked about the idea that if you feel great about what you're doing, you feel passionate about what you're going to be talking about, it doesn't matter if things go wrong. Like, you can recover very quickly if you look relaxed and you look confident and calm on stage, right?
And it's not necessary, right, to be constantly calm on stage, because the place in between tension and relaxation is often where the creativity shows up. So the idea of finding a place to relax and settle, the voice goes down, and there may be some simple, meaningful, rhythmic tips to teach. And then as you share something new, then the voice goes up, then the enthusiasm, the feeling of igniting a pilot flame. So the shifting of the qualities of intonation, like you're seeing what I'm doing with my hands, when you're delivering the content of a point, is followed by the energy of something new. That's the strength. So we have that beautiful integration of calmness and lighting a fire, as it were.
Yeah, important too for keeping people awake, right? For the ones that are nodding off, not necessarily because of what your content's about, but simply because they didn't sleep well last night. So that ignite, that tension, and that change of dynamics, something else is going on here, right?
Something else here that makes a lot of sense too. I don't allow people to fall asleep or disengage. I'm constantly asking questions to the audience. And if you as a speaker can ask participatory questions to the audience, such as the following question I'm going to ask you now. Does this make sense to you? Are you following what I'm saying? If so, raise your left pinky in the air. That's right. Your right pinky in the air, your right leg in the air, your left leg in the air, and then kick your heels together 3 times, because there's no place like home. And my message there is to be at home in the bone. In our bone is the place to stem from our own foundation. Then people are riveted to your message. They're not only not falling asleep, they are penetrated by the passion and the pause and the poising, without having to pretend. Something so authentic and
Yes,
so
yes,
vulnerable emerges. And
yes,
we're so hungry for that. When we can communicate with people as though
yeah,
they're our best friend, from myself to yourself,
yes.
everybody gets a stronger message.
Absolutely so. Well, that was stunning. Your enthusiasm, I've got to say, Gary, is so infectious. It really is. I can understand why people come to see you, come to watch you, and come to learn how to present. Like, not necessarily model you as such, but to kind of be better at their authentic selves. I understand that completely.
And
Because
you
that's what you
remember
want to
that.
learn from. You want to learn from someone like that who has that freshness of appreciation, that kind of, that enthusiasm,
That's lovely. Thank you, Karen.
which you certainly got. So where's the best place for people to contact you, to talk to you more about how you can help them to
They can contact me by
find this?
telephone, by email, and by website. Should I just verbalize those out loud? Is that the best
Yeah,
thing
if
to
you're
do?
happy to
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah, sure. I do know them by heart, so that's easy to do.
That's good.
I could do charades with the phone number. Give me an O. This is from in Australia, right? Yeah. 0433 126 019. Call anytime is my phone number.
Awesome.
And the email is quite easy to remember. Dr. Gary, DRGARY, at mypresentationdoctor, spelled out, .com. And the website the same,
To.com.
www.mypresentationdoctor.com. You can reach me all
Awesome.
those ways. I also am happy to guide people on a complimentary 20-minute Skype session. We can do a huge amount in a short amount of time, and you can be anywhere in the world. You don't have to show up at my doorstep. We can do this.
Great.
You and I are doing it now live in
We
FaceTime.
are. This is great, isn't it? This is so good. Now, you are in Melbourne some of the time. Where else? Because your accent certainly isn't Australian. It's a beautiful accent.
Exactly.
Where are you from?
New York, California, Hawaii. I kept moving west in
All
my
over the
life.
world.
Landed up here. So that's where my accent's from. That's right.
Stunning. So you spend some of your time in the US and some of the time in Melbourne, is that right? Mhm.
I'm mostly in Melbourne. I'm in Sydney every month for 5 days. I'll be in Brisbane and Queensland, your part of the world, in the
Yep.
first half of March. And I am about to do quite a bit more touring with teaching retreats and resorts. If people are interested in that, that's something that's I'm going to be offering some vision quests and retreats and resorts starting in the next year as well, opening up a
Right.
new angle. I love Hawaii. My favorite place to live in the US, where my ashes one day will be buried, is in Hawaii. I have some amazing waterfalls there. That's where I want to be the most, is in the live, lush waters of the Eo Valley in Maui. It's my favorite
Sounds
place.
awesome. Are you a surfer too, are you?
No, a surfer of words and waves and waters and wisdoms, but no, not with a board. I like my body free and moving in every direction possible. That's what I like to do.
Oh, awesome. Well, thank you so much, Gary, for joining us today. It's been enlightening. It's been stunning. And it's definitely something I think this will get shared around for sure. So,
yes, hearing more from you and the others here. Since this is our first meeting, I'm happy to see where this leads us all. Thank you for the enthusiasm you shared, because it helped me be a little bit more effervescent too, rather than trying to be fitting into any kind of boxes. Yes, you too like to take people out of boxes, I see.
I certainly do. I don't like to stick to scripts, for sure. Thanks, Gary. You have a good and productive day. I'll definitely be speaking with you soon.
Have a beautiful. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye and hello.
Oh, that was a stunning, stunning interview. I really enjoyed that. Like I just said, Gary's infectious. His enthusiasm is just, it's out there. And it's something I definitely think, if you're interested in presenting to audiences, if you've never done this before, I would start with some of the best people rather than starting off and feeling like, oh no, this isn't going too well and I'm not going to do this ever again. I think start with somebody great like Gary and, get your pitch right, get yourself right, get yourself in the right space to do this. And you'll do well. I'm pretty sure you will do well. So, yes, that's all for me today. If you want more content on productivity, saving time, energy, money in your business, come along to STEMGo page. But I will see you further this week if you're on Facebook, and I will love to share some of my productivity with you. So all the best for now. Have a good day.